I started kickboxing last week.
Oh, yeah.
What do you weigh, 150, 155?
143.
Hit me as hard as you fucking can. What is up, Watch fam? I am Christian, the curator of the Theo and Harris Watch Shop.
I'm Big Mike from the block.
My dad's like, I know him.
He's not big.
He's not big at all.
Now I've got to the point where I've lost weight from running and stuff.
Yeah.
And now I don't weigh enough. I need to bulk up a little bit.
Too thin.
Yeah, too thin.
Yeah.
Scrawny little munchkin.
A scrawny little munchkin here, just saying the audio still isn't good, and I apologize, but it will be fixed next video, so don't worry.
Yeah, because
I'm getting thick.
You are. You keep boxing. You're going to be ripped.
I doubt that. They say that abs are not earned in the gym, they're earned in the kitchen. If that proverb is true, I will never have abs.
Who said that?
Who said that?
Tell me who said that. Let me talk to them.
Yeah.
There's no abs in the kitchen.
Anyway, what are we talking about today?
Don't look.
This is a series where Michael and I sit down, we talk about watch news. I'm back, by the way. I didn't get fired.
Big C's back. You can't technically get... Do you know how long it took me to realize, like, as a kid, that...
The boss can't get fired?
Well, that and that employees just couldn't fire other employees.
Yeah, you can't do that.
It took me a very long time.
Yeah.
I didn't come from a corporate family. Like, I just watch things on TV, like, if you're like, why don't they just fire
them?
Fire
You're fired.
Like, well, they're the boss. I'm like,
even today, though, like, there's truth behind that. Like, you know, I know people that are, you know, corporate executives that they're like, oh, this employee is a piece of shit. They don't do anything, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, so fire them. They're like, yeah, I know, we're starting the process. I'm like, well, what's that process? He's like, well, I got to put them on a PIP, performance improvement plan.
Yeah.
And I got to do this. I got to keep notes. Blah, blah, blah. It'll take like 6-7 months. And I'm like, wait, so there's someone at the top here. It's their company. And they have to pay someone a salary for the next 6 or 7 months so that they don't get sued? But they're not doing their job. And he's like, yeah, it's legal. I'm like, ugh.
The smarter thing would be to sell the company and then start a new company that does the same thing under a different name.
Company.
And don't hire that person. Everybody else is welcome.
Gio in Paris.
Yeah. Gio.
All right. What are we talking about?
Paris.
Yeah.
Today we are talking about the most expensive watches that have ever sold at auction. In honor of, do you know how much the Patek Tiffany went for at Philips?
With buyer's premium, $6.5 million.
See, that was going to be a surprise. $6.5 million. It is the 8th highest auctioned watch ever.
I held that watch. No, I didn't hold it.
Which one?
The Patek Tiffany.
You did?
I didn't hold it. I saw it in the box. I don't know why I said I held it. I did not hold it. It's the only watch I didn't hold.
But a second ago you said you held it.
I lied. I was lying.
Oh, okay.
Like, wow, I don't trust you anymore.
Wow. Hold on.
I thought we were close.
You just did say you held it, right? Then we have that on.
It was the only watch. I went to the Philips auction preview this week, and it was basically the only watch.
When did you go?
You were kidding, right?
No.
You were joking?
No.
Friday?
Did you tell me?
Yes. Remember who I was with?
Oh.
We went to the Philips auction preview.
Oh, you did say it in passing, because I remember thinking, oh, I wish I went.
Yeah.
Now I must have repressed. Yes, okay, I remember. You know, a mutual friend of ours went, I won't say his name, and he tried on a Patek and dropped it.
Idiot! You're kidding me! No. You idiot!
He just immediately picked it up and put it back.
Oh my god. On the floor?
No. Only from like a foot. But also...
There was a second there where the person that I was with had on a watch, and it was not his fault by any means, but he put on a watch that was extremely heavy. It was actually, I'll pull up a photo, it was a platinum AP perpetual calendar chronograph. And the bracelet was lopsided because it was open, and which should never be. And I remember saying to myself, like, that watch is going to fall. And he had the good sense to move his wrist back over there. But dude, there was a second there. I said, this guy, not that it matters. No, but it's still,
the situation matters.
Yeah,
the number for that man would not.
He's the kind of guy that would have been bothered that he accidentally ruined a great watch, like just on a fundamental human level. Yeah. These are rare things. You don't want to ruin them. But I was like, oh my god, and I was sitting there like I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to catch the watch. I'm going to catch the watch. I'm going to catch the watch. I'm going to catch the watch.
Yeah.
And I was a baseball star as a kid.
Well, I remember.
Yeah,
I had your baseball card.
How could you remember?
I had your card in my spoke.
You know what's funny is when I was a child, I played all sports. I'm actually more athletic than you think.
You're right.
And what?
No, nothing.
No, I'm a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, of course.
You. And baseball was one of the only sports that I really I was bad at basketball. But baseball I just didn't care for.
Yeah.
I love watching like playoff baseball. Big Yankee fan. Huge Yankee fan.
Every time we drive by the Yankee Stadium on our way to London Jewelers, Christian goes, "Oh, we should really go to a game."
We should go to a game. Anyway, there was a guy in the outfield. He was like an outfield ump, and I used to bug at him. His name was Lou. Lou still follows our videos. He's the father of a girl that was our age, my age at the time. And apparently I used to just ask him all the time. Anytime he said anything, I would say, "Why, Lou? Why?"
Yeah.
You know, questioning life.
Yeah.
And, you know, everything. He said, "Well, you know, the next guy's up." I said, "Who's up?" He says, "Well, Ryan's up." "Why?" So he goes, "You were the most inquisitive is a nice word. Jerk off is the more proper word."
Did you ever figure out why?
Yeah, right?
You're like, well, that's
and I still see him all the time till today. And when I see him, he won't let the gag go, which I kind of like.
Yeah, it's funny.
You know, so I'm like, "Hey, Lou, what's going on, pal?" And he goes, "Why?" I'm like, "Okay.
Okay, Lou.
No, I love you, Lou." One watch before we get into the next thing. This is a Seamaster. You know, I think that patina is something that obviously I've talked about a million times, but it's been part of the Theo and Harris kind of dialogue for years.
Yeah.
I think that patina, you know, the natural, you know, aging as a product of the exposure, you know, to elements, is totally subjective, or rather. It's all about the color, but it's pretty widely agreed upon what is pretty and what is not.
Yes, of course.
You know, green is ugly. You know, inconsistency and like molding kind of is weird.
Very strong inconsistency is kind of like
this is like light and even texturing and color. Gorgeous. This is a gorgeous Seamaster.
It is the only. Well, Seamasters actually specifically. There's tropical Rolexes, but Seamasters you see it a lot more. The only way to get that dial is to have someone or have worn the watch for many years, every single day in the sun.
Exactly right.
You just can't get it out.
And I would pair this, and obviously to pair with a gray strap right now, which is pretty conservative, but I would even pair it with like the Mojave or something and bring it out. I mean, it probably looks even sick with the Oscar. That's pretty nasty. These straps are all available in the Theo Harris strap shop. It's beautiful stuff. The strap is an incredible way to elevate. You know, I know that even when not that I've ever gotten sick of my watches because I love them.
Yeah.
But I know that I have fallen far more in love with a watch because of the strap. Far more.
Yep.
You know, especially when I buy watches on like kind of like mediocre straps, I'm like, wait, this would look way better.
That was when I was flipping watches for a while. Yeah. And part of it was just being like, that's not a good strap. Yeah. No one's gonna get a strap that's broken.
Yeah, exactly.
It changes everything.
Yeah.
And if you're into the patina, you do have natural straps.
Oh, exactly right.
Crazy.
Yeah, exactly right. But anyway, that's watches and straps right now.
That's watches and straps right now. So the Patek Tiffany went for $6.5 million.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that number?
It's a write-off, man. It's a write-off.
Went to charity.
That's it. Went to charity. Money went to charity. It doesn't matter. I'm interested to see where the second one sells for. I mean, I think that Joma Shop listed one for $2.5 million. You know, this is a watch that retail was what? Was it 50,000?
52,000.
So 52,000. Which I don't even know how they justified that, by the way.
I don't either.
Because Tiffany Pateks are the identical price, to my understanding, as their non-Patek counterparts. To my understanding.
I like to picture us at the auction, you and me sitting together, and they started the bid at 20,000.
25,000.
No, I picture us at 20,000. We're like, whoa, 20,000. The next bid, they're like 160,000. We're like,
oh.
We do the Seinfeld like,
someone's overpaying. It goes for $6.5 million.
You do know that started off at 20,000.
Yeah.
And we almost had it.
Yeah, that's it's a lot of money, $6.5 million. But again, it's a write-off. It's a write-off. It doesn't.
I didn't even think about the fact that it was a write-off.
It doesn't matter.
I don't have anything to write off for $6.5 million.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It doesn't.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't enter your brain. It's like, okay, you still spent $6.5 million.
Yeah, I'd be like, geez, how can you write that off?
Yeah, well, you can write it off for years too.
Yeah, right.
So maybe, no, probably still. $6.5 million is a lot of money to make in a couple of years.
No, we can do it.
Yeah.
At the end of this year, we should have at least 20.
Yeah, at least 20, 30
mental math.
You can carry it over, but it's still a lot of money. Honestly, not a good looking watch, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Whatever. Yeah. And you know what's funny? And here's kind of me checking my own bias and really wondering why. And I guess the answer would lie in Photoshop. Right? My mom's day-date, that Tiffany blue
Yep.
day-date with diamond indices.
Yes.
Why do I find that watch endlessly attractive and the Tiffany one not? The question really comes down to, I suppose, a couple of variables. One, either I'm biased because I hate the watch, meaning because I hate what it stands for. Bullshit. That's not true. I like hype watches if they're good. I don't care about that. Or two, there's something different about the color scheme. I think that's it. Maybe the black markers, the black, maybe that's it. I don't know.
I haven't seen it in person. I think I'd love it.
Really?
But I haven't seen it in person. Because I didn't like it until there was a specific shot where the watch is at an angle and it's close up on the Tiffany & Co.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like the green Nautilus. I like the blue. I even like the white, believe it or not.
Do you like the Victory Lap with the diamonds better than Tiffany & Co.?
I wouldn't wear a diamond bezel like that.
So if for some whatever weird reason that tax write-off guy said, hey, I actually don't even like these. Do you want this one or that one?
Green with the diamond or regular blue?
Or Tiffany?
I would go green with the diamond.
Wow, that's strong.
It's baller.
It is baller. It is baller.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go to Tiffany. Yeah, I wouldn't go Tiffany.
I just see that as such a flash of color.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, that'd be cool.
You know what was an incredible watch? Again, I tried on almost every watch. You know what was incredible?
No.
The Patek Nautilus 3701. The variation that had a wider bracelet than the 3700 in yellow gold.
Which in turn shrinks the perceived size of the dial a little bit.
Maybe, yes, but also just increases the size of the proportions of the watch. This watch was perfect. It was a perfect watch.
Really?
And heavier than the new gold Nautilus. That heavy.
Wow.
A brick on the wrist.
A brick house.
Yeah, I don't know what it sold for. Incredible watch.
Wow.
Yeah.
So going into that, I found a list rather of the most expensive watches that have ever gone to auction. The first, before we jump into it, there's three. If you know about auctions, you know about them, but still fun to talk about. But the interesting thing is, on this list, the top 10, there is only one watch that is not a Patek, and it reminded me of that Porsche ad that you showed me. That was what was it? The winner of Le Mans?
I think it was the winner of 24-hour Le Mans. Yeah, it was like Porsche, Saab BMW, Porsche, and Porsche rather. And it said, "See, no one's perfect."
Yeah, it reminded me of that.
That's brilliant.
So before we get into that, why Patek? Why is Patek consistently the highest? I have an idea, but I want to see what you say too.
I mean, it was always intended to be. I mean, Rolex was never supposed to be as good as Patek.
Right.
I mean, never.
Pulling Rolex out, even AP or VC or any other, Patek basically is so far ahead of everybody in this specific auction list.
AP and VC don't even matter.
No, they don't.
Comparably. No,
there is not a watch.
So I guess the question is, I would need to do a lot more research now before I answer this question. But the first place I would go for data would be to the old retail prices and the production numbers of these watches. So my question would be, were VC and AP in those complicated watches, were they ever as desirable in quantity and value as the Pateks? Because if they were, then something has happened since that has changed the perception of the value.
Right, of course.
And if they weren't, then it's just, they're never intended to be.
Right.
They never were, and they never will be. But I would presume, I believe that they were probably comparable. And although Patek made more than those two brands. Wow, interesting.
The two things that I have, I guess really the one thing is the buyers of Pateks over time has never changed. So they have always been the old money, very
epitome
complicated
of class,
epitome. Rolex was still a tool watch. AP, I guess more in line with Patek, but still they now
more in line with Patek until the Royal Oak. Then they became kind of a one-trick pony.
Exactly, and VC is just new kid. I guess not new kid on the block, but they've always had that mentality.
VC was always a lot of class, just smaller and never. Listen, I mean, the answer generally comes down to it's just marketing, right? Maybe Patek just did a better job marketing the brand. Yeah, that could be as simple as that.
Because it's very interesting to see. You think of Rolex and all these other brands, but see Patek just auction list run everything and by massive numbers. So going into that though, the only Rolex on the list is of course Paul Newman's Rolex, 17.75 milli.
And I was there.
You were there.
I was there. It was a great night.
What was the vibe in the room? Because This is the most expensive North American auction watch ever.
It was at a time that this was so new. This level of auction, results was so new.
Yeah.
So people were going fucking nuts.
Especially for Rolex, considering it wasn't new for Patek.
Right. But no one cared. Patek's a snooze fest when it comes to just the vibe. Yeah. Watches are a snooze fest when it comes to the vibe at auctions.
Yeah.
Everyone is, maybe all auctions are that way. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with the auction scene. But the auctions suck.
If you think about...
Incredibly boring. And now they're getting more exciting, but they're incredibly boring.
These other two Pateks are very, very complicated watches. The vibe I see is like you're at this old ballroom, like a royalty ballroom, basically. There's all these people in powdered wigs and stuff. And then there's Paul Newman standing in there, too.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at Paul Newman because he's the only person that's like, it doesn't fit. It's the rebel, it's the outlaw.
Right.
Patek is all very much like, this is a very high, complicated watch.
And then you've got this just cultural icon.
Yeah. On a, what is it called? Bun strap?
Bun strap.
Yeah. And it says, drive safe me.
Drive carefully me.
Drive carefully me. What was the other Paul Newman watch? The back doesn't even make sense. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Be good, safe, love me.
Yes.
Like, okay.
And they were like, maybe it'll get even more.
I guess there are very few circumstances in which someone would gift me a watch.
Yeah.
It would be like a partner.
It was funny because I was going to say probably me.
It would be a partner. Michael and I are partners in a company.
Yeah.
It would be a wife. Or it would be...
Didn't look at me.
Or it would be... my wife.
Put all those comments to rest.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's like, oh, now we'll fucking know for sure Christian's gay. Like, shut up. Schmuck. Please.
How far do we have to go? Because we'll go there.
We'll go there. Or like, I guess like a child, like a son, like kids could get you. Anyway, I would like it. I would like an engraved watch.
I'll kill you in a really cool way, too, so it sells for a ton of money.
to give it to your son. To give the money to your son.
You're like, okay.
Yeah, but those engravings are cool.
Next up, we get into the oldies.
Has anyone's wives or partners given them a really good gift? Not just value too, but sentimentality. Because I really want to hear that. Like I love the story about George Bush Sr. His Patek, a friend gifted to him for his like 90-something birthday. Something like that, maybe 80th birthday. I don't know what it was. And the engraving said, happy 100th birthday for that date. Basically saying, you're going to be around, motherfucker.
Oh, I like that.
You're staying around. I love that. When my family gifted my grandpa his Patek, it was his medallion number for his car, for his yellow
That's
cab.
incredible. Yeah.
That's a cool engraving.
Yeah. You know what the worst engravings are? When you see someone clearly, I got a beautiful watch as a gift, and it says like, Exxon Mobil, 1940 to 1984.
Yeah.
You're like, come on. Don't you wish they said, what do you want us to put on the back?
Yeah, right. Henry Graves. Yeah, it's a Supercomplication, right?
Yeah, and this is kind of exactly what we were talking about, like the distance between this watch, obviously there's a few watches in between, this and the Rolex, but the distance between this, a super complicated pocket watch, and the Paul Newman is kind of why I think Patek dominates the market, because people that are going to buy this watch, I feel like they put it in their dark wood library.
Yeah.
In a case.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And the Rolex has been touring the country since it was purchased, basically.
Yeah, the Rolex is like the...
It's out there.
It's
a little skank, honestly.
Whoa! Yeah. The Rolex is like or Paul Newman's is very symbolic showing of like the new rebirth of like the love of watches. I feel like. And this is the old things that didn't even come in the news because this is just old money buying.
This is when you're selling something to someone, obviously depending on the buyer, depending on what you peg them, when you peg their selling point as, like, this is Henry Graves is, well, it's the best.
Right.
Do you want it?
Right.
It's the best.
Ready for this? Taking 8 years to complete, the timepiece is named after the American banker who commissioned it in 1925. The 18-karat gold pocket watch features 24 complications, including Westminster chimes, a perpetual calendar accurate to the year 2100, and a celestial chart for the nighttime sky of New York City as seen from Graves's Fifth Avenue apartment. The piece sold in 2014 at Sotheby's. It's the most expensive pocket watch ever sold at auction. Apparently last wound in 1969, it is thought to be still working today. If that line isn't an indication of the type of people buying this,
doesn't even matter.
It's thought to be still working today.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, right.
Whereas Paul Newman, if you saw it, you'd say, well, this is really important because the Paul Newman is important, and Paul Newman started it. Much longer sales pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could shorten it in saying this is the coolest watch in the world.
This is the coolest watch in
It's
the world.
not as powerful.
Yeah, right.
Do you want the best? This is the best. This is it.
This is the best. This
If
is
you don't want the best, that's fine. I don't know what kind of guy you are, but if you want the best, this is it.
yeah.
That's it.
Picture a rich banker in 1925 staring at
Yeah.
the New York skyline.
Right.
This is
Exactly.
what he wanted.
Yep.
So I think that's pretty cool. And then
I hate this watch.
so do I.
So
It's
much.
disgusting.
It's horrible.
Patek. Oh, you can read it out. Read out your hated watch.
Patek Philippe Grandmaster Chime is 6300A-010.
$31.19 million.
Yes.
This
This went to Only Watch though, right?
Yep.
This was charity.
This was charity again, so probably a
Right off.
and this is your one-line sales pitch. I forget where they put it on the watch, but it is called The Only One.
Yeah.
Getting a watch that says The Only One from Patek sells itself.
Yes, it does. It does. But does it sell itself enough to blind me from it being so horrible looking? I don't know.
No, this is
No.
the epitome of if you can, should you?
Right. Exactly right.
So
Right.
I hate this watch. I
Horrible.
think
It's
this thing
disgusting.
looks horrible.
It's
Yeah,
disgusting. It's classless. It's horrible.
yeah,
It's
right.
horrible.
Never meant to be worn.
No. It never meant to exist.
What do you think?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Is that from something?
No, it's just like, it's horrible. You're horrible.
we
Go home. You're drunk.
really do we need to do that episode of roasting watches.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna have a watch roast. We'll probably do it soon.
Yeah, I'll do it soon.
We just have to be kind of careful.
Yeah, we work with all these brands now. It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
Now, you know what it is, though? You know what's funny is we can basically say anything. I can't think of a line that we couldn't cross.
Well, put it
I
this way:
don't know.
we've never written a live and thought this isn't good for a brand.
No.
But a video where we're outright attacking
Yes.
watches.
Yes.
When we were like, maybe we should be.
And you
careful.
know what's funny? When I make a video that's like really attacking, it's really rude. I'll get two reactions, and I always get both.
Yep.
One from a competing brand that says, "Thanks for that. I love that video."
Yeah, right.
And the other from the brand itself, and the guy or girl is like, "I get it, but you, man." You know, that's really it.
Yeah,
They
right.
have no say.
Yeah, right.
I was like, I was drunk. I was drinking. I was fucking drunk.
They're
What
like,
do you want?
but
You never got drunk in
the
your
issue
fucking life? You never
is-
got drunk in something you didn't mean?
Michael writes the episode.
Yeah, right.
And edits it. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
You think he cares? He's nuts.
He's our wild card.
He doesn't even accept his check at the end of the month. But
And
yeah,
This one's on me, boss.
Dude,
Like,
I got this month.
really?
Stop saying that. It's stressing me out.
Why do you got this month?
We did really well last month. But yeah, I think this watch is horrible. Do you think brands, I don't want to say Patek, even though they're the one dominating, they make these watches and they think on the craft side, or like this is going to be a write-off at Only Watch 100%?
I have no idea. Yeah, probably. Listen, it's Patek and it's one of one, so it's going to sell itself.
Yeah, well, they clearly know that, but
Yeah.
like this watch, what do you think goes behind it to them? Is it we need to build this watch that is flush with complications? This watch is also huge and incredibly thick.
Yeah.
Like, I guess what is the Patek mindset here? Is it complications?
Complications. That's it.
That is it, right?
That's it.
That is kind of the highest level of watchmaking. Well, I'm saying.
I don't know.
dumb
I
things.
think that watchmaking is balance. I think that watchmaking is balance. Period. End.
But
And this has no balance. No.
selling for high money, all complications.
Yeah, it's all
Like, oh, it chimes.
Yeah.
It does this, it does
Blah, 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 blah.
that. You know what I want to see sell for $35 million? Not even. A Seiko 5.
Yeah, right.
For some stupid
It totally
reason.
could happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Nowadays-
just for a write-off?
I feel like there's no limit. I feel like the the Paul Newman isn't the
Oh,
anomaly.
if this resold in the market, this would be over $30 million.
Yeah.
The-
I was going to say, it's not the anomaly, it's the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, this list that is 9
It's
out of
the
10
beginning.
Pateks
It's the beginning.
is slowly going to get pushed off by Rolex first. But I think Omega's hopping in. I think all these other brands
Yeah,
are
well,
hopping.
the Omega Speedmaster, the first one, sold for $3 million.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Anyways, that's all I have.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is only the beginning. You know, don't be surprised by crazy numbers. They're coming up.
To end it all, what is the watch that's going to break the Chime?
What watch will sell for more than $32 million?
Yep. You can just go brand for now if you want. Go as specific as you want.
I don't know. I mean, I ultimately think that Rolex. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, Rolex and Patek.
Yeah, of course.
It's either going to fall in the, Nautilus line,
Mhm.
I really don't know. I don't know. I know that the midsection of the auction market will be dominated by, like that stuff.
Yep.
I don't know if they'll ever reach those heights unless they're really, really special watches that are, more complicated. Obviously, there's a common theme of complication when it comes to Patek at this level.
Of course.
Whereas Rolex, it's bare bones. And if it's bare bones, then it's
it has to
vintage.
go off the name.
It's got to be vintage.
Yeah, it's got to be vintage. It has to go off usually wearer's name.
Yeah, I don't know. Wearer's name. Yeah, I would get so nervous buying a watch from a.
You said this before.
Yeah, people get canceled all the time. I'm sure Marlon Brando's done some weird.
Oh my! Have you seen Apocalypse Now?
Yeah, right. I don't know. I don't really need that. I wouldn't buy a watch because it was involved.
You said that before, and I think that's really for a very small amount of people.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but coming from someone who bought Harvey Weinstein's cigar collection like literally 4 years ago. No, I'm just kidding.
Those are the cigars you smoke.
Like I can tell you from personal experience.
No, bro, it's an investment.
Big mistake.
Smash cut.
Big mistake.
Oh my god. No, that's the thing. It's maybe 3 people in the world that you're giving financial advice to, but it's very important financial advice that you can get caught up in that. I guess to Patek's credit, you can get caught up in the hype of the Grandmaster Chime at Only Watch.
Yeah.
But if it's a celebrity's watch,
like you gonna tell me Sylvester Stallone never did weird shit?
You're gonna tell me right. Yeah. You were just kind of holding a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
How fast can you get rid of it?
That's kind of how I feel. I don't know. I'd be scared.
Yeah.
We live in a weird place.
If Paul Newman was a serial killer, what do you think happens?
Yeah, right.
Rolex is like, take that out of every boutique that you've ever seen.
Right. I don't know.
Yep.
If Paul, there's a lot lesser things than serial killing. You
I can't think of anything less than serial killing.
You're an idiot.
Anyways, the watch is coming off.
Go to the Theo and Harris Watch Shop.